Welcome back to Lost Odyssey, everybody. It's Chocolate Milk, and we are going to be taking on the boss that awaits us at the end of the Temple of Enlightenment. This tough dungeon must have a tough boss, and here he is. You can see that he is waiting for us. So, for preparation, I really didn't do a whole lot, to be completely honest with you. The two things or I guess more or less the one thing you're going to need is level 8 black magic. I strongly suggest having that because one of the spells will really help you quite a lot in this battle. Buffing really isn't important. Keeping healed is also important, so level 8 white and black magic is recommended. I've also got double cast on both Sarah and Ming, as well as auto MP recovery, so they gain back MP at the end of every turn. They've also got reduced casting time, so they're able to cast 2 spells in the same turn without having to wait. You can see they have full MP. 999 is the most they can get. Their HP really isn't looking too bad either. I've pretty much accessorized and customized my immortals to this battle. And this battle really isn't as hard as you might think it is. Since you're at such a high level, you're probably going to be around 75, I would say 75 or 80 in between those when you get here, so you should be fine. This guy looks really tough. And since he is talking about spirit magic, Mack is connected to spirit magic. He got it when he was in the Crimson Forest. Mack is required for this battle. So I would suggest having all 4 of your immortals because they're so customizable, and then throwing Mack in because you don't have a choice. And unfortunately, Mack is kind of going to be the dead weight of this battle. He really doesn't do a whole lot in my opinion, but you can still use him for a few things, so we will do this battle just fine. So this is our opponent. This is the Legendary Spirit Sorcerer Fu. He'll give us a slot seed at the end of the battle. He's got some spirit magic, obviously, with no type, so it doesn't really matter what kind of magic you use on this guy. He's going to have higher offense, or I should say defense, to magic than he does physical attacks. But you can still do quite a bit of damage on him. However, for the first turn, it's not recommended that you really bust out your big guns. I'm buffing right now. When I did this battle, I wasn't really aware you're not really supposed to buff because he can take off all your buffs. It's not a guaranteed thing, but he does have the ability to reset any and all buffs and all that stuff you put on your character. So all shieldus, all barricadus, covera, regenera, any of that stuff will be taken off. With your immortals, you can actually set it so they have shield always in effect or barricade always in effect, so that might be something that you would like to do if you feel that you need it. But for the first turn, I would suggest just attacking or using any kind of black magic you feel like it, because what's going to happen, as you can see here, is he's going to summon something, so we can't actually attack him directly just yet, which is the crappy part of this battle, is that it takes us quite a while to actually defeat the main boss that we're supposed to get to. So this miasma looks pretty similar to the one that we saw in the Crimson Forest. Obsidian Sai was an attack that the one there had. This one, of course, has the attack too, and it's really not that strong if it preys on your back row. The 16,000 HP really isn't too bad. With Kaim and Seth, you should be able to take this thing out in quite a few turns with your mages backing you up. Your priority is, of course, getting rid of him. He's really not too much of a threat, but you do need to get him out of the way so that you can attack Fu because the guard condition is going to be too high for you to be able to attack him without it, so. So we'll see how long my buffs last. And I also forgot to mention that while the Obsidian Miasma is attacking you, Fu will also attack you from behind the lines. And delete all, the attack that he just used just nullified all of my buffs I just did, which is a total bummer. So that attack, reset all, really is going to make all your buffs completely useless that you've just spent all the time putting on. So again, that's why I don't recommend buffs. I do suggest using white magic just to compensate for the lack of buffing if you need it, or a powerful attack like Break Hit or something like that if you can't get all powers or something, for example. So as you can see so far, this battle really isn't too difficult. It's just kind of annoying. You're kind of facing two enemies rather than the one because you have both of them going after you. And since he doesn't really have an element, you can kind of just go after him with whatever you'd like. With your mages, I would attack with Mack, Seth, and Kime. I think we'll get him this turn, because we need to move on to the next stage of this battle. It has several stages, but as you can see, this guy's cake, he's doing essentially no damage at all. This is, this is like a joke. So far from Fu, we've seen 3 waves, the attack he just did. We've seen deletes all of your buffs and things like that. He can summon things, and he's got a few other attacks too as well. So now on this turn, again, don't bring out your big guns. There's no point in buffing or bringing out ultimate hit or something really big like that. If you're low on HP, just spend the turn getting all your HP back, and if not, just get a good few hits on the sorcerer if you have good HP and you're really doing alright. Because we're going to go into another phase of this battle, so. I'm getting pretty good with these rings too. The difference between a good and a perfect is just crazy sometimes. Alright, so here's when things get a little bit hairy here. As you can see, he put up his 2 enemies, so now we can't really get to him as much, but we might as well finish up our turn, and then we can focus on these new enemies that he has summoned. Now this is where Black Magic level 8 becomes very important. You can see that these guys both have 22,000 HP, which means, that's an upwards of 44,000 HP on top of the sorcerer himself. So the reason you want level 8 Black Magic is because of the spell Death. These guys will die with death, and if you kill one but not the other, what'll happen is, if one of them, or I guess not round you to kill them, if they're low on HP, it'll sacrifice itself to completely restore the magician's HP and MP, and also revive the other reverse soul. So if you leave one alive and then you leave one dead, not only does our main target back here get all his HP and MP back, but you also revive the other one and you have to do it all over again. So Death is your best bet. It makes this battle a whole heck of a lot easier, which is why I recommended having level 8 magic, because Death is a high end level spell. And since my casting time's pretty good, it should only take them this turn. They'll be done casting at the end of this turn, and then we can actually begin to focus on our main boss, he can stop throwing us all his minions. And again, he's just gonna keep throwing a bunch of attacks at you from behind the line, so that is great. And as you can see, easy to take him down with the death. And after that, he will not summon anybody else, so now you can go full-fledged on his ass. Just go and open up with everything you've got. And we've pretty much seen the majority of his attacks. He's got Halberd of the Heavens, which was that really powerful attack he used when the reverse souls were up. 3 waves, of course, delete all, we've seen that. Summon the Obsidian, summoning the souls, all fall, and then finally he's got Shuffle, which will shuffle around your party's formation, and if you've got protection against all status effects, that shouldn't be a problem. So in all reality, he's not a big deal at all. You just have to kind of deal with all of his little lackeys and minions. So there we go. That boss battle would have been over ages ago if we just had him to defeat, I guess. And again, he's another optional boss of this game, just so everyone's aware. He's not mandatory in the least bit. And now I guess he's kind of been like laid to rest or something. Or we killed him, so he's going to the spiritual world or something. Either way, he's never going to bother us again. So we get the slot seed, we get the magic spell Sacrifice Self, and if you picked up the mask from the shopkeeper, which I really hope you did, you can now place it on the altar where it's glowing. And we've also got that treasure hunt piece, which was our last treasure hunt. So things are coming together beautifully. So be sure to have grabbed that mask from the shopkeeper in Saman, place it on the altar, defeat the boss, grab the treasure hunt item, and you will be able to get the hell out of here. That is it. We are done in the Temple of Enlightenment. We never have to come back here again. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later.